Hello and welcome to Duke's Handbook, where I give advice on anything anybody's asking for. Mondays are the Reddit episodes, released every Monday, 5:30 a.m. Mountain Time. Tuesday through Friday, if people write in, I'll record episodes for them personally. And let's just go ahead and get into it. Hello and welcome to another episode of Am I the Asshole? We're now on episode 20. Thank you everybody that's been listening. I love doing these episodes. I love doing my advice for people that need it. And I reach out to them every time and say, hey, I'd like to help you out. I did a recording for the podcast, whatever. But I love the Am I the Asshole ones because this is where you kind of get into some real nitty gritty shit here. And it's always good. It's always good for the most part, anyway. So let's just go ahead and dive into it right now, huh? So this one is, am I the asshole for calling him a, quote, fucking embarrassment? Kicks garbage can. Everybody knows what that's about. If you know, you know. It says, I've been seeing my fiance for 4 years now, and I came into the relationship with two boys. My boys are now 12 and 9. Once a year, me and the boys go to my family's vacation home with the entire family, and up until this year, my fiance did not attend. But now that we are engaged and merging families, the family asks that he come too. They all get along great with him anyways. I explained to him prior to us coming to our family retreat that during our week stay with the family, my kids do not have a bedtime. We do a lot of night activities such as night swimming in the pool, karaoke, fires, nightly strolls through the neighborhood, etc., etc. So during this week, my kids absolutely do not have a bedtime, and this is how it has always been. I made it clear that bedtime was not to be enforced like it was at home because this is vacation and time with family, and I'm not making my kids miss out on the nightly activities. Dope, Mom. I also explained that due to this, some nights they are up easily until 11 at midnight. It's once a year. It's no big deal. Agreed. So he was fully aware, and please note that this is the only time I've seen this side of him that I will mention below. Attached is his fuck up. We get here the first night, and you can tell he is already uncomfortable with the boys staying up past their bedtime. He was stressing out because the boys were still in the pool at 10 p.m., and he felt they should be in bed already. I reminded him. Oh, that was weird. I reminded him at least twice that we were not enforcing a bedtime here, and he let it go the first night. The second night, 9 p.m. rolls around, and the boys were still up, and my fiance was dropping comments like, "You're lucky you're even still awake right now. You should be in bed." Saying it right in front of my mom, who looked mortified that he had such an attitude. I told him to cut the fucking shit, dude. It's kind of like hers, but without the dude. In private. He tells me he thinks it's fucked up and that it's going to be a terrible trying to get them back on their schedule. Never been an issue in the years prior. I stood firm and told him to knock it off and let it go. Dude, you already knew the bedtime rules, bro. You already knew them. No bedtime on vacation, son. But then last night, my fiance starts angrily sighing every single time he looks at my kids, still awake, And I finally pulled him aside and told him he was a fucking embarrassment because he keeps saying these comments in front of my family, which leads to awkward silences and judgmental glances my way. I warned him prior to coming here, and if he had an issue that he can't control for a week, that he needs to leave because he's ruining our trip and has passive aggressive bullshit surrounding a bedtime. He told me I'm an asshole for making him feel like garbage over wanting to keep the kids on a schedule because it's, quote, best for them. Am I the asshole? No, Mom, you are not the asshole. Matter of fact, I think you did the right thing, calling this guy a fucking embarrassment. You told him there's no bedtime. You told him you guys do night stuff. Whatever, dude. Like, he should have just been like, all right, bet. Like, dude, all right, whatever. Dude can't be a fucking father if he can't handle, or a stepfather, if he can't handle, this small 1 week rule that you have where it's like, we're on vacation, you guys can stay up until you fucking fall asleep, which is 11 to midnight, apparently. How about maybe tell him, shut the fuck up. I think that's your best bet. But no, you're not the asshole, for sure. Hey, if you're listening or you're watching on YouTube, do me a huge favor. Subscribe, like, comment, share, whatever. It'd be absolutely fantastic to see who's coming and going and who's watching and who's, doing their thing. So anyway, would love it if you just hit the subscribe and click that little notification bell. This one's called, Am I the Asshole for Refusing to Go Back Home During Break? Refusing? Or you just kind of don't want to? Or you're like just straight up like, nah, not happening. Whatever. I, 18 female, grew up in the West Coast, but I'm currently going to college in the South. Around a year before I left for college, my parents announced they were pregnant. I wasn't thrilled, but this for a number of reasons. I wasn't thrilled by this for a number of reasons, but I didn't say much at the time, and I was outwardly pretty neutral. My parents seemed disappointed by my reaction regardless, and they kept trying to pull me into discussions on what the baby's name should be or what furniture they should buy for the baby's room. They also kept making jokes about how I would need to help out more, since they would be older parents. It's not your problem. When the baby came, I was around to make sure my mom was all right, and then I mostly kept out of the house until it was time for me to leave for college. Since I've been at college, my parents have continually asked if I was coming home for break. I went back once for a winter break, and the entire time it was baby centered. I don't know what that means. Baby centered. I mean, I'm assuming it's just like all about the baby, right? The house was constantly filled with the baby crying, or the sound of cartoons, or my parents asking me to help care for the baby. Everything was interrupted by the baby. If I wanted to go to a restaurant with my parents, we can't because of the baby. If I wanted to go shopping, we're too tired because of the baby. If I wanted to go grocery shopping alone, can you take the baby with you? Oh man, that's fucking annoying. They were constantly pushing me to babysit or change diapers or make formula stuff in the name of sisterly bonding. Okay. This break, my parents kept asking me if I was going to come back for break. I told them I probably wasn't because I had plans with my friends and I'd rather stay in my dorm than go the hassle of flying all the way over. They kept asking me to and saying it would be great bonding opportunity, but I don't see what's so bonding about listening to a baby cry for most of the day, every day. Finally, I snapped and said I didn't want to come back until things settled down and they were capable of handling the child they made by themselves. So am I the asshole for refusing to go back home for break? A little, yeah. Like at least spend time with your parents. Like, it's not about fucking taking care of a kid, right? But also, your parents need to freaking take that responsibility up and handle that themselves, because you're right. They did make that baby. They put themselves in that situation, and they shouldn't be asking you to take care of this baby all the time while you're home on break. But also at the same time, take it from me, I missed a lot of time with my little sister, being in the military. So that's going to be time you're going to miss. I have a 13-year age gap with my little sister. So yours is obviously like an 18-year age gap, 17-year age gap. But yeah, just go home. Spend time with your parents and the baby. And, you're not the asshole for not wanting to go because you're young. And I get that. But also at the same time, family is important, and you should definitely spend some time with that baby. So this one says, am I the asshole for announcing my pregnancy immediately after my sister? Just off the title, I'm going to go, yeah, obviously. Like, under no circumstance do you do that. But let's get into it. It says, my husband and I have been trying for a second baby for 2.5 years. We lost 2 pregnancies during that time, though we only told our families about the first. I'm incredibly grateful to now be 13 weeks pregnant and have been looking forward to sharing the news with my family. Congratulations, by the way, on getting pregnant. On Friday, we had dinner with my family. My sister, her boyfriend, and our parent. Oh, her boyfriend? Oh my God, they're not even married. Not that I care, but it's like, come on. And we decided to share our news then. I decided to wait until dessert so that we could leave shortly after telling everybody. Obviously, it's exciting news, but I was worried about all the emotions that could surface for myself and my husband. Right after we sat down to eat, my sister announced that she and her boyfriend are expecting their first child. I was thrilled for her and congratulated her, as did the rest of the family. Once things had settled down, I didn't want to waste the opportunity to have everyone together and thought it would be a good opportunity to keep the joy flowing. So I shared that I'm pregnant as well. Okay, you should have just kept it to dessert. Like, just waited till dessert. Anyway. Our parents were so excited to be having 2 new grandbabies just a month apart, and I was super happy that my kids would have a new cousin. My sister was happy for me, but she left very soon after dinner and didn't stay for dessert. Probably because you announced your shit immediately after her shit. She called me this afternoon and told me that as happy as she was for me, she felt that I'd done a shitty thing by taking away her moment, air quotes. She pointed out that it is my second baby, and when I announced for the first time, I didn't have to share with anyone. I didn't want to apologize because I didn't feel I'd done anything wrong. But she finished out the phone call by saying that she didn't think I was really even happy for her. If I could have let her have that moment and taken another for myself later on, that really stung. And I mean, like, true. Like, you could have waited till like the next day or whatever, I truly didn't see it that way. I saw it as sharing joy, not stealing it. I also see each pregnancy as being unique. So I don't feel that it was right of her to say I shouldn't have said anything because it was my second baby. Honestly, I think she might be kind of hormonal, maybe. But I also want to understand my sister, and I know I'm not going to get anywhere asking her about it. So I want to be enlightened. Am I the asshole for announcing my pregnancy immediately after my sister? Edit. I'm visiting from Los Angeles. My sister lives in New Jersey, and our parents in New York City. Yes, you're the asshole. And it's not because it's like your second kid. You know, I mean, like you guys have been trying for 2.5 years, and if your family knows you've been trying for 2.5 years, then they're all going to be happy for you. But I'm going to say you're the asshole for doing it immediately after in order to carry on joy. I mean, like, you could have just, like, let it be her and her boyfriend are having a kid, and that would have been great and fantastic. And then, like, the next day, been like, I didn't want to ruin anything because everybody was so happy, but we were also pregnant. You know what I mean? So I just don't understand the idea of like trying to roll on the joy there because you're really not. You're taking it from your sister. But also at the same time, it's like it's your sister's boyfriend. It's not her husband, and I don't know. I feel weird about the whole, oh, we're expecting a baby, we're so happy and we've got everything going for us, but yet we're not married. So it's like someone is failing to commit in that relationship but yet have a baby together. But also in your case too, like I said, I mean, 2.5 years of trying, so congratulations on that. But yeah, you're the asshole for popping that off immediately after your sister did. And that'll do it for this episode. Thank you for listening. Episode 20, son. We are almost there, about 20 weeks into it. And I mean, thank you so much for listening. To those who do, if you're on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, whatever, all that crap. And then, we'll see you guys on the next episode. Thank you for listening. I hope you have a good rest of your day.